Hey everybody, Darren Dale, winners win. We are in between Curtis and Maywood at Tyler Kerchal's leather shop. We'll send you some pictures of it. This thing's great. You know that shortcut road, the old highway that goes between Curtis and Maywood? That's what you're on right there.
That's where we're at. We're the chunk of ground in between the new highway and the old highway.
You can see the building there, and we're in, I guess this would be kind of the southeast corner of that building. This is the leather shop. I've known Tyler for several years. This is bad to the bone.
Thank you.
When did you move in here? When did you start doing leather work in the shop?
Just out here. So I had my shop in Curtis on Main Street, for a couple years.
Right.
And the goal was always to have it out here, but we were kind of building the shop house or the barndominium.
Right.
In the meantime, and it was working. It was good, being in town. I don't know that anybody in Curtis is really knocking down your door for custom leather work, but it was a good spot to be.
Sure.
But my wife and I, we got the house done finally, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to move everything home and work out of the living room or whatever, and kind of save that rent payment back.
Sure.
To hopefully get this thing built at some point. So I actually saw a picture on my phone just the other day. March 14th, I framed up the very first wall. And
wow.
Not that I didn't have some help a little bit along the way. Mostly it was just me though. Like my wife works every day, and I'm just out here framing walls and slinging drywall mud and all the stuff. So.
Did you write down what you wanted to get done, or did you just go after?
No, I like to have a plan. Even when we were doing the house, and this was very much the same, but like graph paper, like each square is a foot, and I got everything laid out, and not that I'm an architect,
right,
by any means, but had it all laid out, and I've got little squares drawn, like, my sewing machine's going to go over here, and my cut bench is going to be over here, and
right.
I had a plan, I guess.
Don't you think in life you got to kind of have a plan? And if you
I do. I don't know. That's the way my brain works. But
if I put it on paper, it happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like writing down your goals.
Yes.
Which I'm a firm believer in. Some buddies and I have talked about that recently. Write your goals down. Stick them on your bathroom mirror or whatever.
Yes.
And I think you're more likely or apt to make them happen when you do that. Like you're kind of writing a contract with yourself almost,
I love that.
I know.
That's it. I 100% agree, because if you write them down, you tell yourself, you tell God,
mm-hmm.
you tell reality, and it's real. It goes from that subconscious to real. I know any goals I've put down, we were talking right before we turned it on. My friend Maddox, that was his big deal. You've got to make goals, and you got to reset them, and you got to set them high. And this is fun to set in your shop. When I'm looking around, Tyler's got all of his stations. It's open. It is very tastefully decorated throughout the thing. It's sweet.
There's a lot of random stuff just hanging around here, I think. But
I like it. I like those things.
That's my decorating style, I guess.
So you've been in this building a year and a few months. How do people get a hold of you? What's the easiest way?
It depends on who you are, I guess. If you're a close friend of mine,
yes,
everybody says, "Oh, you never answer your dang phone." But honestly, just my phone number, which I can give out. Facebook is good. It's just Kerchal Leatherworks.
Yes.
I try to keep up on Instagram and different stuff like that. I'm not always real tech savvy.
Right.
And good about posting all the time. Some people are really good about posting every day and keeping that content up and whatnot. And there's a big debate among several of us. Like, are you a leather worker or are you a content creator? Like,
yes.
Where are you spending your time at? But it's tricky. It's kind of a catch-22 because you got to do both.
Right.
A little bit. Today's world, it seems like you got to have stuff on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever you're into, but you got to get it out in front of people. We're all working out of homes, so I guess you're not getting the foot traffic necessarily. So you have to put yourself in front of people.
You've got to put it out there, and they got to see it, and it's got to be consistent. But when you're working for yourself, which I love about Tyler, is you've only got so much time in the day, and you've
Sure.
got to navigate it. And what I think is great is you're getting to the point where you're getting that repeat business, and you're not having to hustle like you did those first couple years.
Right, for sure. I mean, I think anything, you have to hustle.
Yes.
But word of mouth is gold.
Right.
And it's free.
Yes.
Kind of. It's not really free, though. Like, you're putting your time and your effort and energy
Right.
into what you're doing. But I guess once maybe get a little bit good at something, then people start talking about it. And that's just worth $1 million by itself. So
I think you were there because we look back, what was it, maybe 5, 6 years ago, the Cattleman's Ball.
mm-hmm.
I wanted to get a couple belts for Taos and Chance, and by the time I get over there, the guy's selling everything out. Like,
And shows are tough.
It was blowing out the door. They wanted your stuff then.
Especially things like belts or whatever. It's hard to have all the right sizes, all the colors, different pattern variations that Darren's going to like versus what somebody else wants.
Sure.
So shows are hard. And I know I've done a couple of deals outside of the Kettleman's Ball, like, your shows.
Uh-huh.
It might just be a collection of whatever I might happen to have on hand at the time just to show people.
Sure.
But like, hey, if you want something custom or whatever, like, we can talk though. Like, if you like this from this project or this from this project, I enjoy customs.
That's the beauty of it.
Rather than having an inventory,
And you're getting something special made for them, for you, for occasion, a special time, and it's real. Like the leather work in my mind is a lost art, just like the fur industry. And when you can go somewhere right here between Curtis and Maywood and order something from
Sure.
somebody with this killer jacket, and you're gonna get it in, it's real and it's neat, and that's the entrepreneur spirit that you've had for a long time.
I don't know that I always had it.
Okay.
Probably similar to you. Grew up ranching and rodeoing and doing all that stuff, and then eventually, I don't know. I don't consider myself an artist by any means. Somewhere along the lines that kicked in, and I thought it'd be fun to try. So I think it's developed a lot more, and maybe just the hunger,
Sure.
if you will. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just popped up out of somewhere, I guess. And I mean, I come from kind of a artistic, creative family. My mom is a heck of a drawer,
Okay.
or at least used to be. She tells me she can't do it anymore. I don't know, but I think she could if she wanted to. I got a couple uncles that have always done leather work, kind of on the side or whatever, and they were good at it. I thought it was super cool.
So you got to
Yep.
see that at a younger age, and you
Yeah.
started going through it. Okay.
Absolutely. I remember my tooling bench was the corner of my kitchen table at one point in my life,
Okay.
and I bought a half a dozen tools from Tandy Leather Company. Like that's where everybody starts out at.
Right.
It's kind of the beginner entry level stuff, which is fine. But I didn't even know what I was buying for tools. Like I don't have a lot of instruction, I guess. This is really funny. On our little podcast that a friend of mine and I do, we were chit chatting with somebody one day, and like, what's some stuff you've learned over the years, like that really changed your work? And I threw it out there. It's like, well, I didn't even know you were supposed to case your leather. Like, so when you case your leather, you wet it down first, right?
Okay.
Nobody told me that. I'm just
Pounding
pounding
away.
away on like dead hard, literally dead cow skin,
Right.
And I'm like, man, this stuff looks horrible. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Well, a lot of trial and error and screwing stuff up, I guess. But yeah, the things that you learn, and that's how I learn, is a lot of screwing up, mostly.
I think that's
So-
the best way too.
I agree. I really do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a physical, like hands-on. I can't read a book and really learn what I need to
Right.
learn from it. Just gotta do it. And I think, shoot, that probably applies to a lot of things, really. Like, just do something and screw up and learn from it. And
Immerse yourself
on.
in it, and then you learn.
Yeah.
What's out of all your belts, purses, different things? What's your favorite thing to tool?
I love tooling anything, especially once I've kind of gotten to where I'm drawing up my own floral patterns and stuff, which was a game changer. I think everybody starts out like tracing off somebody else's patterns that you can buy or whatever, and I think that's great. You're really learning muscle memory and the flow of different things, but eventually you want to hopefully create your own style a little bit. And for me, it was not every pattern is going to fit every project, if that makes sense.
Right.
Say spur straps or something, for example. Well, somebody with a size 12 boot, that spur strap's going to be too big for your 12-year-old kid or something. So for me, it was being able to draw out a pattern to fit a particular project. And I'm not saying I'm real great at it, but I think I've gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. And that's been fun. So to answer your question, I love tooling anything.
Okay.
Putting a new pattern on a fresh piece of leather, it's fun. I love that. My favorite project probably, though, I've gotten over the last 2.5 years into, I finally took the leap and I was scared of them because I was scared of the fit. You've had probably a bad fitting pair of chaps or chinks or something in your life.
Yes.
They're horrible.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Right.
So I think I was more hesitant about being able to pattern out a pair for somebody, and I've got it, I think, pretty well dialed in now.
Okay.
Being able to take your measurements specifically for you. I'll rip off a big chunk of this butcher paper, essentially, and I can take your measurements, lay it out, build a chap pattern that is only going to probably fit you.
Okay.
They're tailored a little bit.
Sure.
At that point. I'll keep your measurement sheets, but once I'm done with that pattern, it's trash. Like I'm cutting pieces and parts out of it, and cutting your yolks out of it, and
then they've
and
got
doing all your
something that
things.
fits their legs, their thighs, hips, waists, however
Absolutely.
the highs and lows are, and then they're on you, because when you're riding in them all day or running at a branding or moving,
Sure.
you don't want to be held back.
Right.
Yeah.
Or having them fall off or
Right.
whatever. You don't want to fit like a pair of sweatpants
Sure.
or something. But so that's been really fun. That's probably my favorite thing to do, and I do a lot of them anymore, is rodeo chaps or your shotguns, your leggings, if you will, and shanks. I do a lot of other things, but those are my favorite.
But those are definitely custom, one of a kind,
Sure.
and hand measured, and of course made in the USA. I mean, is there any other option?
Made in Curtis, America.
Made us in Curtis. Curtis is dear to my heart. I went to college here and worked for anybody that would hire me.
Sure.
It was fun. I had a lot of fun in Curtis, and it was great to come here today because it's like going down memory lane, and I'm going to have to go to Curtis, and I need to stop and see Reagan Brown probably.
There you go.
And check on Reagan. So, if somebody calls and says, "Hey, I'm wanting to get both pair of kids, a pair of chinks, chaps," what's the time frame they're looking at? Something like that.
I kind of keep myself in this 2 to 3 months out on a work list. I like that. It's not overwhelming at that point, but it's comforting knowing like, oh, I've got a couple 3 months worth of work.
Right.
Kind of at any given time. Now, Christmas time, you start getting into October, November.
Sure.
I think if you're a maker, Christmas starts a lot earlier than it does for anybody else. But
Right.
then you're kind of like, I'll shut my books off at middle October.
Okay.
I want to make sure things get through the mail and to you in time for Christmas or whatever, and not be. Don't get me wrong. I'll keep my local people kind of towards last.
Sure.
That way, if I need to drive it to their house on Christmas Eve, which I have had to do before, I can do that though, and you're not banking on the mail, whatever. But that's kind of where I like to keep myself. Some guys are a year out or whatever. I don't like that. That's just me personally, I guess.
When I travel around, I run into a lot of your stuff.
Do you?
I do, and
That's good.
I'm fortunate because I've got good friends, but they all want to show me what they've got from you and where
I did
they
you
got.
a belt several years ago.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? The first one that I made you, and I don't know if there was a mismeasurement or what happened there exactly. That's my everyday belt.
It
Because
is?
it just happened to fit me.
Okay.
I've been wearing that thing for 7 or 8 years, probably. Yep.
Well, you have one, and then my son Taos, I gave him one, and then Chance, when Chance
Oh, yeah.
started helping me out.
I
got
remember
Chance
that
one.
belt, too. That was pretty.
Yeah,
I really like that one.
and he cherishes it, and he's excited to wear it, and it makes me smile to see that he has it on there.
Good.
I got a question. As a leather maker, who do you look up to? Who do you go when you see Wichita Falls used to have a great saddle and leather show, and I go around there and I'm going, whoa.
And they still do, I think. We were talking about going this coming year, so.
Yeah. When you see somebody's stuff, do you go, ooh? Or does it just turn on your inner thoughts to get more of a curve or more of a deeper cut?
There's a lot of different people that I follow and have had the pleasure to meet even in person over the last couple of years. We've been going to the Rocky Mountain Leather Trade Show in Sheridan,
Okay.
which was just a couple weeks ago actually. And they call it the World Leather Debut also. So there's a trade show and there's a big competition contest.
Okay.
So I've been sending up shaps and shanks the last couple of years and getting good feedback from judges and different people. But there's a gal, she's in Ellensburg, Washington. Her
Okay.
name is Julie Bacher.
Okay.
And we call her like the Shap Queen. She's kind of our Shap mom. She's adopted a few of us and calls us her leather boys.
Okay.
She does a phenomenal job. And lucky enough to call her a friend now.
Okay.
And if I got a question or I'm struggling with something, I can text Julie and say, hey, this is what I got going on. And like she'll help anybody, which is awesome. And I like to be able to do that also if I can. So Julie's great. Gosh, there's so many. Ty Skyver is a hell of a shap maker.
Okay.
Does beautiful work. I could probably name off 30 people that I like different aspects of their work or this and that.
Sure.
I have a friend out in Utah, Price, Utah. Trevor Barfus is his name, and he does some really nice shaps also, but his drawing and his tooling and stuff is very good. So we talk every day.
Okay.
Absolutely every day. My wife, I don't know. His wife and my wife think we got a little something weird going there, but we're that close.
When you can fuel off another person that is in the same industry and immerse yourself with
absolutely.
it just makes you as an artist to the next level. And we're all trying to get to that top of the 1%.
Right, and we're all trying to do our own thing, but help each other along the way too, like if you can, and I love that.
Yes.
I think my favorite part is networking within, our leather side of things, but if somebody comes to me and wants, I don't know, an Apple Watch band or something, that's not really something I enjoy doing, for one.
Right.
And it's a narrow little strap, right? I don't like tooling that small in the first place, but I have friends that are good at it, and I can refer them, hey, go talk to Kim. She's awesome at it. So we're not really competing, like you're trying to keep your own lights on.
Right.
And stuff, but helping each other along the way, which is super fun for me. I enjoy that a lot.
That's wonderful when you put the spin on it, and anytime you push or pull business, it's just the right way to go about it. I love that.
And this might have been before my time, but I've heard so many people say that, and maybe you've been around it, you walk into a leather shop or a saddle shop somewhere, and the second that they realize that, oh, Darren's interested in doing some leather work or whatever, like they cover their work up. Like they don't want to share their trade secrets and whatever all. And I don't think it's like that anymore. You walk in somewhere. My wife and I, 4 years ago, we were on our way to Texas on our honeymoon, right? And we're going through Sayre, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I don't know why it popped into my head. I was like, I know the name of this town for some reason. So I jump on my phone, and there was this leather worker down there. And I find where his shop's at. It's like 10 miles out in the country, so we take a little detour. And we ended up at this guy's shop for like 3 hours. Just BSing, and we weren't even really talking leather work. We were talking more like on the business side of stuff. But he was so open and helpful, and that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. So
when you get around people, successful people want to share.
Sure.
I know you do. I know I do. Anything I can share to help anybody, and We both do it. That's why I'm excited about that. I got a lot of kids that watch, and I hope I do.
Sure.
And so here, kids, is another example of an entrepreneur living in rural America, doing what he wants, working for himself, being very successful, and not fitting any molds. Zero molds.
No, I try not to, anyways.
No, there's no
Yeah.
need to. You can be off camera. We were talking about you just got to be yourself, and that's who you have to be.
Oh, 100%. And think for yourself and just try to have some drive and whatever, I don't know, whatever you're doing.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know. Feeling stagnant is not fun, I guess. Just keep pushing yourself. I don't know.
Keep pushing. Set your goals higher and higher and higher.
And you can have short goals too. Like I do this for myself. I feel like they should be on a dry erase board or something out here. But short goals, like this is what I want to do tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll do this at the end of the day. I'll kind of wrap up or get to a good stopping point. I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna want to finish this. I want to do this. Blah blah blah. Sometimes I won't quit till 10, 11 o'clock at night because I
Right.
know that I need to get this done. Like this was my goal. Have a goal for next week, have a goal for next month, but then have your, I don't know, year from now goals or your 5 year from now goals.
Yes.
So they don't always have to be like so far out of reach, crazy goals. Set some short ones
that are obtainable.
obtainable. That's a good
Yeah.
word, great word.
Get them to where you can reach them, and then you have that self of accomplishment that hey, I got to there, I got it done, and then to me, you get a couple things done. The next day is always so much easier.
Sure.
Yeah, and the week's easier.
Mhm.
I love that. I have to write that down. Short goals.
I think they're important. Just that sense of accomplishment, like you said, that's not 5 years down the road.
Yes.
I think it's a good feeling. So, absolutely.
Well,
What else you got? Pick my brain.
I want to know a little bit about your rodeo career.
It was fairly short-lived.
Okay.
I always, you're a kid and you grow up, or you're growing up, and you're like, oh, I want to be a bull rider for the rest of my life, which
Sure.
is a little unrealistic, as it turns out.
Right.
Nobody gets to ride bulls their whole life.
No.
But I did. That's what I started out riding sheep when you're a little kid,
Mm-hmm.
and you graduate and you go to roping steers or whatever. Like your dad and his buddies are out team roping, and you'll get one pinned behind the gate and jump on there with a piece of baling twine or something. But it got me hooked there. I'm sure my mom was super in love with that whole thing when it started. But
Right.
got into junior high and high school there, and started high school rodeo, riding bulls. I don't know if it was really by choice or just lack of options. I wanted to ride saddlebogs,
Okay.
but there was nobody even remotely close with bucking horses.
Right.
Scott Clements in Imperial had bulls though, and that was 20 miles
Yeah.
down the road. So I guess I'm a bull rider. I enjoyed it. I really did. I miss it all the time.
Did you ever see a bull at Scott Clemens? If anybody went there, Scott had bulls all over for a lot. Did you ever see one not jump the fence?
No, I don't think so. That's funny you say that, but yeah,
They all jumped the
it
fence.
seemed like it. Well,
Like first time I went, they jumped the fence, and like it was no big deal. Oh, there they
it was
go.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you look at the fence, and they'd gone over it. Oh,
Yeah, bent panels and whatnot
everywhere.
But,
Yeah.
So I rode clear through high school and for 2 or 3 years after. So I graduated in '07. I think my last ride was in Imperial in like June of 2010. I remember that, but I don't know really why I quit. I guess I think I remember thinking, I kind of want to be 40 someday and
Right.
maybe be able to walk or get out of bed. And
Sure.
I wish I'd have kept going at that point, because shoot, I was only 21 or 2 at the time, and I think I could have probably kept going, but boy, even just the wrecks that I did have, like I still feel them when I'm 37 now, so
Right.
maybe it wasn't all bad.
Well, and they turn in the river, and sometimes things change. But I always think that whenever you were in the chutes, it was better than being in the stands.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to try it. You got to experience it.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize till later, a couple of years ago how lucky I was to even be able to rodeo, how it worked and how it fit together.
Sure.
We're just fortunate to be able to go, and what a fun experience to live a little piece of that American dream of rodeo.
Oh, it's just, I don't know if we were adrenaline junkies or what we were, but God, it was so much fun, wasn't it? I mean,
It was timing, and it was the group of people I wanted to be around, and
mhm.
I always saw myself as a cowboy, and that was the fit.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't know, even with the wrecks and different things that probably are getting worse as I'm getting older now, but
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. I don't think I would have traded it.
No, not at all. And that's fun to see it transition from that into that's the group of clientele that you have now.
Hmm. So that's fun too, which is a good point. So might not be rodeoing anymore, but man, if I can make a pair of rodeo chaps for a kid, like I feel like I'm still in it a little bit,
Yes,
but just in a different aspect.
sure.
I actually had a kid just come down the other day that I actually had these chaps on hand. I built a pair of chaps for Tandy Leather Company at one point,
Okay.
a couple of years ago. But turns out they basically just wanted my pattern, or to draw up a pattern for them, but I got to keep the chaps, right? And they were super pretty. They were a black body with this metallic copper accents and fringe and the whole 9 yards. And I didn't really know what I was going to do with them at that point. I was like, well, they're not making me any money just hanging on the wall, but local kid from over here at Farnham,
Okay.
last summer, he's riding saddle broncs. No, yeah, I think he's riding saddle broncs. It doesn't really matter, but he was looking for a pair of chaps. But you know, you're a high school kid, you don't have any money.
Right.
I was like, I tell you what, so I'll make you a pretty good deal on these. So they're brand new, they've never been worn, and if we need to alter them just a little bit and make them fit you, it's like we can do that. So I did. I had to maybe shorten up the back belt a little bit
Okay.
and leg straps or something. But he finally wore out the front belt on him the other day. It popped loose, which is an easy fix. But he came down. I hadn't really seen him since, and he's like, man, I absolutely love these things. I hate to wear them when it's muddy out in the arena or whatever. And,
Right.
but he's proud of them, you know.
Sure.
And that makes me happy.
Well,
So-
that's what, when you're climbing in that chute. If you have a little extra confidence, it never hurts
Sure.
anything at all.
Absolutely.
Not one bit.
I never had like the really pretty chaps. Actually, that's about the best those ever looked because they were. I think I was the third or fourth person to inherit those. But
Sure.
I don't know, but it like I said, it's a confidence thing, a little bit, um, which is fun.
And
Even
we-
like those hot pink ones.
Yes.
If you saw those were so fun for me. They're really maybe not even that good. Like the Tulin's probably not that good, and whatever. They look flashy and cool.
They're hot pink.
They are bright. I came across that pink leather at one point. I didn't even know what I was going to make with it, but I ordered like 2 sides of it. I'm like, man, that's pretty dang cool.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, why would you not make a pair of chaps out of those, right? So I did. I built a pair, kind of just off my own measurements, just to make
Sure.
them. And I had them. I was kind of wondering what to do with them, and I told my wife, I was like, these need somehow to go to the NFR for the Tough Enough to Wear Pink night, right? I was like, well, who's going to wear them though? Like, so I, shoot high, right? So I
Sure.
send like Stetson Wright a
Okay.
message. That I know, like he's got somebody that probably runs his whole social medias and this and that, and I never heard back from him, so that's fine. But I was actually really glad that maybe that didn't happen because I got a hold of Jacob Roper, which is out of Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and it was going to be his first NFR. And this is like Thanksgiving time when this happens because I remember we were driving my wife's folks, and I'm on the phone in the passenger seat and trying to figure out somebody to wear these things. And yeah, Jacob messaged me back. He's like, send me pictures. Because I told him kind of what my deal was. Like, hey, I'll send them to you. I'll even ship them back if you'd be willing to wear them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I sent him pictures. He's like, oh man, those are like super cool. I'd love to wear them for you. And so he did. And I remember we were fighting to find tickets. 'Cause we were going to like
Be there.
be there and actually see him in, Thomas and Mack, right?
Yes.
Last minute tickets, were like $9,000, a ridiculous amount. So we didn't end up going, but I remember being a We'll see him on TV.
Yes, public saddle partner, the reigning world champion a little bit later on. Here comes Jacob Rover, came in number 9 in the world standings. Dropped a couple spots, but he's made a little bit of money. Damaged goods is the draw. Oh, a good mark out. Big air right here. Okay, Jacob. Finish it off. I mean, this looks so good so far. Excellent bareback ride. And that's the kind of horse, Jeff. These are the kind that all these guys should make good rides on. I mean, they've got good.
That's cool.
Pretty awesome.
That's cool to have your product there, and that's a fun thing about rodeo and winners. He's excited to showcase them for the right reason.
So that was super cool. I'm glad that deal with Jacob worked out. He's, I don't know, he'll send me little things on Instagram or something once in a while, and it's like, that's pretty dang cool.
That is cool.
So, I don't know. I think I don't know what the right word is necessarily, but my deal for my kids was kind of like, sometimes you just have to try and make something happen. Rather than sit around and wait for it to happen. For somebody like Jaco Roper or a Stetson Wright to call you, I don't know, get it out there. Sometimes you got to do something for free. Yeah. Once in a while.
You put it out there. You tell, and then next thing you know, you've got a pair of chaps at the NFR that are in the arena. That was cool. And you tell God, you tell reality, and I like what you're saying is sometimes you got to kind of give it a push.
Yeah, a little bit. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. But you got to try it.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was a pretty cool. I haven't had any go back yet. So I say that those are my first pair that have gone to the finals, because I hope there's going to be more eventually. Right. But that's the goal.
That's great.
I actually cried a little bit the other day because I've had those things sitting here for 2 years now. Okay. And I told my wife, it's like, I get this shop built, I'm going to like frame them or something, Never going to sell them. And this guy comes down the other day wanting to get measured up for a pair of shotguns. Okay. Shaps. And we're talking about that, and he sees those hot pink shaps hanging on my coat rack over there. He's like, are those for sale? It's like, no. Like, in my head, I was kind of crying a little. I was like, no, I really kind of want to keep them, But he was super excited about them, and I didn't know what he was going to use them for. A little bit older gentleman. Yeah. Didn't look like a bull rider to me by any means, but he wants to wear them on his motorcycle to Sturgis. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do with them, I guess by all means. But
I'm looking at the shafts now.
I called Liz and I was like, you are not going to believe what I just did. I sold the pink shafts, and I think she was proud of me that I even considered it. Everybody else was pretty disappointed. Like, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe I did that either, but let somebody else enjoy them, that's pretty cool.
Well, and the long and short of it, in 20 years we'll sit here and do another one of these, and we'll talk about all the other shops.
Well, I hope so.
That are out there.
I hope so. I do.
Tyler, how do people get a hold of you? What's the easiest way? Facebook?
Again, Facebook, Instagram. I try to keep up on those the best I can. I'm not great at it, like I said, but it's Kerchal Leatherworks. My phone number is kind of out there for anybody and everybody is 308-350, super easy, 2222.
Oh, those are my favorite numbers, 22. That's awesome. I did not know that. Check him out. Check his stuff out. And thank you for the positive encouragement to me a couple of weeks ago, saying he sent me a message, Darren, I like what you're doing. Keep doing it. And I appreciated that. Thank you.
Well, no, absolutely. I love it. I don't know, just working for yourself or whatever. Like, music goes so far, and sometimes you get your jams that really get you in the mode. But I love a good podcast, and yours is super fun. I can just have it playing, and you're doing a really cool thing with people. I'm glad to be a part of it, but I love like motivation stuff. Yes. Right. Positive things, and that's what your deal is. So I like that a lot. I really do. I'm just tickled to be on here.
I appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Before we go,
yes,
I know I did the belt for you several years ago. I got a little something for you, and this is more of a thank you for being supportive of me. Okay. Over, I don't know how long we've known each other now, but 7-8 years.
Or more.
Probably maybe more. But I've always very much cherished that and appreciated it. You're like, hey, get your butt down here to the farm and ranch show or whatever. Like, didn't feel like I was even good enough to do that or be there. But very much thank you for that, and it means a lot.
Okay.
And this was an experiment,
All right.
kind of. So I hope you enjoy it.
I'm excited. My eyes are locked.
This might still smell like leather dye.
Oh my.
We got this done yesterday. So
I'm a touch emotional. Thank you.
don't be emotional with it.
Oh, this is cool.
Sunglasses case that I kind of got patterned out, and I drew that pattern a couple weeks ago, actually, and I was finally able to get it down on leather yesterday. And I took an inlay class at Sheridan a couple weeks ago
Okay.
on how to do nice inlays. And if you can guess what that is, that inlay material is,
Is that alligator?
it is not alligator. It's going to be a hard guess.
I would guess that it is anteater, but
That'd be a good guess.
That
that
would
is
be.
that is beaver tail.
Beaver tail.
Believe it or not.
okay, I wouldn't have. Oh, that's cool.
So
I'll cherish this, and the cool thing is, it came from you, and we're just not too far south in North Platte. And if you go back into traders' times, the Cheyenne Indians believed that their life started at the forks in the river, where the North and the South Platte
Fork,
meet.
huh? Sure.
And that's where Buffalo Bill Cody, he wanted to live where the Indian chiefs were. He got to see time when the Indian chiefs were there and the next part of time. And to get this from right here and from you, I love this. Well, thank you.
Hope you enjoy it.
I do.
So.
Thanks for your time and thanks for being on here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Go to winnerswin.com, check it out, and all the deals. I'm getting some encouragement. winnerswin.net.
There you go.
And you go on to Spotify, it's on there, and YouTube. My mom says, Darren, how do I see it? I said, Mom, just go on to YouTube. And so if you're on there and you're watching this, tell somebody else's mom how to find it, because
There you
that's
go.
the easiest way to do it. You just go to YouTube.
Have your kids pull it up for you? 'Cause
Have
they're-
the kids, yes.
Absolutely.
What a wonderful place to come visit. And when I'm looking around, we're going to take some pictures. We're going to show you this. The shop is amazing. It's got a really fun bar and all the stuff right here. He grabbed me after the first year at Wichita Falls, and we go outside, and he says, Darren, you're the best I've ever seen at putting an event on. Now go reset your goals. And I know, whatever, let's have a drink.
Sure.
And that night, he grabbed me by the ear. He says, I'm not shitting. Get a fucking piece
Quit
of
messing
paper
around, right?
and redo your goals. And he says, I don't brag on people, but that's where you are here.
Appreciate
Holy
that. I do.
smokes.
Probably transfers over a lot of different things for different people, but for me it was the leather work, and it was like an escape, share a little bit, and it's shoots like that for me every day. Too.
Right.
It's like I can just get in my own world, and I don't know. The rest of the world doesn't even exist. I'm just here doing my thing right now and enjoying it. It's fun. So fun taking somebody's ideas and actually making it hopefully turn into something.
I'm so pumped about that.
Thanks for watching Winners Win. If you're enjoying it, like it, share it, tell your friends. If you have a product or service you'd like for us to showcase, please reach out to us at winnerswin.net. We'd love to come to your place of business or your farm and do a showcase on you.